Hello, thank you for joining us today for the continuation of our series Instapage Product Tour, Coffee and Conversions. Some quick housekeeping items before we get ready to begin. If you have any questions during the webinar, please submit them in the Q&A window and we will answer them toward the end. We'll also be sending out a recording and a copy of today's deck via email early next week. And then finally, at the end of today's session, if you have any questions or suggestions of items that you would like to see in future webinars, please reach out and let us know, as we want to make sure that we're providing you valuable and actionable insights. So getting started for today, our agenda, we will be reviewing new features that are coming out or have come out in the Instapage platform. We'll also do a live in-product demonstration followed by Q&A. Joining us today, you have Griffin from our product marketing team, myself from our professional services team in CRO, and then Alexandra from product management and development team. So let's go ahead and dive into our feature spotlight. Kicking us off, Griffin, do you want to tell us about the new custom fields that are available?
Yeah, of course. And hey, everyone. So yeah, custom fields allow you to capture and collect the exact contact data you need. And another great part is that they're reusable too. So this makes them a great solution for fields you commonly use. So an example here would be a company size field, which we have built in, but let's say you wanted to change the options. So you could do this and then you can save it yourself. And then you can reuse based off the company sizes that you're accustomed to for your business. And so with this data, you then are able to build more targeted lists and then perform better and more effective email outreach, all from Instapage.
And definitely, I think that reusable option is what makes it really valuable for customers as you may be collecting custom information. As you mentioned, company size is like a great option or availability. We have different customers that have different drop-down options. So instead of having to recreate that through different forms, you're able to create that custom field and use it in multiple places. That way, you're really saving that time and effort. Some tips and tricks while creating fields, just from a CRO perspective, is when you want to use different types of fields. So making sure that you're using radio buttons for kind of mutually exclusive lists where you only want them to select a single option, using checkboxes for areas where you want them to select multiple options, and then using that standalone checkbox when you want to have a single option for them, like an opt-in, as in, yes, I agree to the terms of service of signing up through this form. So some great information there. The next item we wanted to take a look at today was our new collection details in form submissions. So can you tell us about that?
Yeah, this update is great for anyone who likes analyzing their raw form submission data. So now any submission from a collection page includes extra details like the collection ID and page name, so you can quickly spot performance trends. You also get real-time timestamps for deeper trend analysis, plus the ability to download the data if you want to dive even further.
Definitely. And from a CRO perspective, this is really useful when you want to evaluate how different pages are performing and determining different areas that you want to test. So looking at the layout, the content order, the value propositions, and the CTAs on the page. Is it better to have the form higher up on the page, lower down? See how that's performing for different collection pages and variations to see, hey, maybe I need to break this out of this template and create something specific for this audience. So the next one we're diving into is the new experiment device filter. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, with the experiments device filter, this has actually been a popular small enhancement that if you haven't ran into yet, like you'll definitely want to check this out when you're running your next experiment. So when you're in there, as you can see on the picture on the right, you'll see how you have these toggles to toggle between desktop and mobile, or you can select all, which previously is all we had. The benefit here is that you can look at the analysis of desktop performance, mobile performance, and now you have this data in addition to the all, which combines them, and you can make a decision with more data, helping you pick the true winner.
Yeah, I think this is great. Like you mentioned, for diving in. So maybe majority of people have more mobile traffic, right, than desktop traffic. So seeing how you specifically perform on mobile, you may want to test different changes there. Inversely, if you want to see how you're performing on desktop, maybe you're B2B and you have more desktop traffic, you can see how it's performing there. And that way you can tailor your testing for different behaviors based on different devices. And this really helps you kind of dive into that so you can test those specific changes. So then the next one that we're all really excited about is the pop-up conversion goals. So tell us about this change.
Yeah, with pop-ups, this is one of our dedicated lead gen tools. They help your pages convert more, and that's why we've made it possible to track link and button clicks on them as conversions, giving you a fuller picture. All you have to do is toggle on tracking and keep it selected as a conversion goal for your page.
Awesome. And one great thing with this is you can utilize hidden fields in the pop-up form so you can differentiate between like your static page conversions and the pop-up conversions and determine which method is most effective from the audience if you really want to see which is driving the most conversions on that page. All right, and then the next one that we wanted to dive into is the new image library refresh. So what are the changes we're seeing here?
For the image library refresh, this was a simple user experience update. Overall, it makes previewing, inserting, and managing your images much smoother. So all the controls are now just a hover away, as you see on the image on the right, helping you move faster in the platform.
Definitely. And just some refreshers, tricks there. So when you're uploading your images to the library, don't upload images larger than 4,000 by 4,000 pixels as they can block the image manager. And then one note there is that the changes made to image attributes will be applied to future inserts and not to existing ones of the image. So if you have used that image historically in the past and then you add an alt tag, you'll still have to go back and re-add that in order to have that alt tag applied. But overall, I think it improves the user experience for our customers because it reduces the amount of clicks it takes in order to access that information, makes it easier in the interface in order to make the changes in order to optimize those. So now that we've talked about some of these items, let's go ahead and take a look at a live in-product demonstration. I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Alexandra to see these in action.
Yeah, hello everyone, and let me demonstrate my screen and show you those features in product. So here we have our dashboard, and let's start with custom fields. So when you have your page that contains form, or you can just create a new form and add it to your page or to your library. So here we have form, and when we edit this form, here you have the list of fields that were added here from the beginning, and they started right form. So you can add any of them, and it will be automatically connected with your form submissions and contacts, and send all data from this form to specific column in contacts. But if you need to create some custom for it, you can go here, create new, and add any form, any field that you would like to have here. Let's go with this one, and yeah, we edit here. We can rename it as we want. Um, Here we can select validation format, and so when I click Save to my fields, I need to add a name for this field. Yeah, it's saved now, and you can find it here in this tab My Fields, but will have different name here, saved. So all the time when you create your form, you don't need to create this field. You can use this field. Okay, so yeah, and when you say a form and later someone completes this form, they will get all data submitted to this from this field to your form submissions page. Okay, yeah, that's it from custom fields, and let us know if you have any questions. And let's move on to conversion goal for pop-ups. When you add a pop-up to a form, to a page, sorry, uh, let me do that. Everything work same as usual. So you just can add your pop-up to the page from your library or create it from scratch. And that's it. Like you just save your changes, and here you see on this pop-up we have a form and a button, and it means that when someone completed this form on this pop-up, it will be also collected for conversion goals. And let me save my page. And here in conversion goal, yeah, we collect form submissions, and it means that it will be form submissions from your page and from your pop-up. And if you want to distinguish them, you can use hidden fields for that. And same for click on the link or any button. If you have it on your page or pop-up, it will be also added here. And one more thing about connected to our landing pages, it's our image library. So all those images that you can add to your pages, you can find it here in images, or you can also always open this image library from landing page builder. And here you can see our updated library. So from here you can easily click preview and add all or edit any additional details about this image. And if you edit or work with this images with your images from landing page builder, now it's easier to insert these images to the page from here, or basically you can do it also from the library by clicking here. And we have this image. Okay, and let's move on to the last feature that I want to present you. It's our filter in experiments by device. So you can find it here in your experiments. When you open your experiment, you can find those filters by device here. Okay, so I believe that everything that I want to present you today. So thank you for your attention, and let us know if you have any questions.
All right, I think we had one question come in. Would experiment device filter work retroactively? And do you want me to answer this one, Alexandra, or do you want to answer it?
If you can answer, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I did take a look and it does work retroactively. So if you go into your former experiments, you can go ahead and click that filter and you'll be able to see how it performed on both desktop and mobile devices. So
Yeah, I
uh-huh.
can also confirm it from my site that yes, it works with all experiments that you run before as well.
Yeah, definitely. Another one that came in, and Griffin, I'm gonna pass this one your way. If you create a custom field, will it automatically show in the contacts table?
Yeah, definitely. So You'll see it automatically. You also have the option to hide it. And this is a key part because it kind of closes the loop. So you now have the ability to capture, view, and then you can segment by that information based off the specific contact data you need, which is super powerful, especially with email built in. And that kind of, yeah, as I mentioned, closes the loop.
Yeah. All right. Another one, and I'll go ahead and take this one. So when should I use a drop down versus radio buttons if they both only allow one choice? So for radio buttons, you really want to keep that succinct to where you only have maybe 2 to 4 options, because you don't want to have too much on your screen that will push, the other fields of the form down, or make it look too long. You want to use drop downs when you really have like longer lists of things. So if you think about maybe you're in the education space and you have different degree programs that you want them to select from, but you just want them to choose one option, then you could list, 5, 6, 7, 10 different degree programs in there, and they would only be able to select the one option from the drop down. Another one came in, Alexandra. If somebody deletes a custom field, what happens to the data already stored in the contacts?
All data from that custom field will be deleted as well.
Okay. So make sure if you need that information, you download it first before you
Yeah.
delete the custom field.
Yeah.
Let's see. One more question. Can I filter my entire form submission list to show only leads that came from a specific collection? Alexandra, I'll let you touch on this, where
Yeah.
they go for filtering collection leads and viewing that.
Yeah, let me demonstrate this as well. So here I have a landing page that is created as a part of collection. And when I complete the form, I can find my submission here, and you can see here submission specific from this collection. And here you can see collection ID, page name, collection URL, and so on. So, in the question was if it's possible to filter all
Mhm.
form submissions specifically by this collection. So, I believe for now it's not possible to do, but only one way how you can do it, like it's possible to download all your form submissions, and later in your spreadsheet, for example, you can do that.
Yeah. And I think for clarity in that, so if you use like the workspace, you can get down to an entire collection, but not the individual page. So like it wouldn't drill down to like the variations
Yeah.
or the children pages of that collection, but you could view them all within a collection. But as Alexandra mentioned, if you want to filter further to say, view like a specific page, we recommend downloading from that collection page, and then you could filter inside of Google Sheets or a CSV or Excel to get the information and the submissions from those specific pages. All right. So I'm gonna give it 10 more seconds to see if we have any more questions come in. Do a countdown 10. Oh, here we go. Let's see. On my form, I have a required consent field that needs to be checked, but it takes up a lot of room. I realize I could make it a second step after they click submit, but is there a way to make this a pop-up instead of a second step on the form? Alexandra, I'll let you take this one.
So instead of second step on the form, we want to have pop-up.
So I imagine like maybe it's like a large block of text that is the consent, like a legal
Yeah, yeah,
section
yeah.
on there. And so maybe like a way to expand it or like have a pop-up link with additional terms and details. That way
Mm-hmm.
it's not pushing or making the form look longer.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I believe it sounds like a case for conditional form, and currently we don't have conditional form, but it's something that we plan to have in the nearest future. But what it could be now, maybe when someone complete a form as an additional step, we can send them to some external link. Michelle, what do you think?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah, this is like where it gets like a little bit tough with all the compliance and making sure we have all the verbiage on there. Um, right now, I don't think there's anything like native in the form to manage that. But if you wanted to send me an example of the page, I'd be more than happy to look at a couple custom solutions that we might be able to help you implement, and see like what our support team mentions as well to see how they've encountered this and how they solved for that issue as well. So, um, just so you know, my email at Instapage is Michelle with one L at instapage.com. So feel free to email me directly. All right. All right. We'll give it just a few more seconds in case anything else comes through. All right. I'll go ahead and take back the screen. All right. So if you're interested in any additional information on these features today, we do recommend that you schedule a demo with us. So you can follow this link bit.ly/ipdemo9. Or if you're interested in getting early access to any future features that are being released, we do encourage you to sign up for our early access program where you can provide your feedback on features and what you'd like to see in the platform. Coming up for our next webinar will be on May 7th, where we'll have some really exciting topics to discuss. We're going to be going over the collections AI content generation, different use cases for that, and how to use that inside the platform. Also, new feature releases looking at external pop-ups that will live outside of Instapage, schema for websites, email analytics, and then we might have a few additional features that we talk about during that session. So we encourage you to block it off in your calendar, and we'll send the registration link for that in the next few days. But I want to thank everybody again for joining us. And again, if you have any questions or feedback on today's session, please email me directly at michelle@instapage.com. And have a wonderful rest of your day.